everybody, good morning. My name is Fendi. I'm a physiotherapist here at the Singapore Heart Foundation, and today we'll be teaching you some ergonomics tips for working from home. So I do realize, like right now, obviously our gyms are a little bit on the closed side. We do see some of you guys for assessments, and as you can see, I am working on my makeshift desk right here. Okay, so we will have some exercises after this, okay, but the whole point of today is because of the situation, we might be going through like phase 2, phase 3, all these heightened alert phases, and we just want everyone to know that, despite all this, there's still an opportunity to exercise, whether be it in your home or in your office if you are still working and currently working from home, that kind of thing. So what I need everyone to do is, if you're not at your desk, that's fine as well. There are going to be some exercises after this, but what I'll be showing you right now is, some ergonomic tips to go along, to make sure that you're not too uncomfortable, or you're not developing some chronic bad postures when you exercise. All right, so first things first, you can see my setup is a little bit interesting, okay, to say the very least. All right, as you can see, I'm working off my laptop. Normally, I know some of you working from home will put your laptop down on the table and work on your laptop like that, like this. I've seen it many times. I see it through some of my colleagues as well, and I do correct their postures. So without further ado, I'll go through the list of some of the changes you can do to your work setup. Alright, so first things first, you can see my laptop is not on the table. It's raised up by some books, okay, some makeshift books, so that the screen is actually within eye level. What this does is that it doesn't make you look down onto your laptop screen. So what it does, it brings it up, so it lets you kind of sit up straighter and actually make sure that your eye line and the laptop screen is kind of perfect, so you don't have to really adjust your head posture that much. And that will really help with your cervical spine. You're not going to overwork your neck muscles during the actual activity itself. Okay. Secondly, you can see I have an external keyboard as well as an external mouse. Now these are all wireless stuff, but obviously you can do a corded one that connects to your computer as well. Okay, why the wireless keyboard is good? Because again, even though the laptop is raised, you don't really want to work like that, because you'll be actually kind of tiring out your shoulders, and you will have some chronic pain in the shoulders if you keep doing this for too long. So bring it right down, elbows nice and 90-degree posture, and work from there. I also went a step up by having a wrist rest, so you don't develop some carpal tunnel as you work on your computer itself, and obviously the wireless mouse, so you don't have to work on the trackpad as you do your work as well. Right. Next is, you can see I have a chair with a solid backrest, and I'm sitting back into it. What I normally do is I like to push my chair all the way in. Okay, make sure I'm seated all the way back, so that the lower part of my back, which is the most important part that needs to be in contact with the chair, is in contact with the back of the chair itself. Okay, this supports your lumbar spine, okay, which is the lower half of your back. All right, these are the points that many of you will have felt some discomfort before, from overworking and that kind of thing, and it's always some strain in the lumbar spine. A lot of people tend to want to lean forward and do their work like that, but obviously we want to sit back, kind of have a nice backrest just to work on, and my feet are flat on the ground as I do my work. So you can see my posture is a lot of 90-degree angles. There's 90 degrees in my legs, 90 degrees in my hips, right, and my elbows are at 90 degrees when I do my work or when I'm using the mouse, that kind of thing, and my eye line is straight. So when you adopt this kind of posture, you're able to work more efficiently, and also it's safer for your body, so you don't develop any chronic postural problems. Last but not least, which will lead me into the exercises of the actual video itself, is try not to sit down for more than half an hour at one go. So a good way is to have a timer, maybe a timer on your table, or a watch on your table, or a clock, to just make sure every 30 minutes have a stand up and do some of the exercises that I will be going through in a bit. Okay, and obviously when you do these type of exercises, do make sure you're not having knee pain, back pain, or you're not feeling unwell. If you are feeling unwell, it's okay. Honestly, just rest in between your work that you have to do, and you can do the exercises as you get better and as you get fitter as well. Okay, so before that, again, another gentle reminder, if you have had your vaccination within the past 7 days, please do not exercise. Don't take part in this exercise video. You can watch, Okay, you can watch and listen in, and obviously get used to the exercises, but don't participate in the exercise if you have had your vaccination in the past 7 days. All right, no strenuous activities, no exercising, just rest, sit, relax, lie down, okay, and get back into your physical activity as you go along. So again, just one last glance at my posture before I move the table to the side and start with the exercises itself. Okay, what you need to do is raise the laptop up. Okay, raise the laptop up so that the screen is on eye level. Okay, try to use an external keyboard and external mouse so that you're not typing on your laptop like that. Okay, I use a wrist rest to just support my wrist so that I don't have carpal tunnel. Okay, make sure you're seated all the way into the backrest of the chair so that you support the lumbar spine. Okay, and try not to sit for more than 30 minutes at one go. In between the 30 minutes, you can do one of the exercises that I will be showing in the second half of this live video. All good? Okay, so I'm going to move this table aside. I will bring it back in later to show you some of the other exercises that I will do. But I will move the table aside. Hopefully nothing falls. Okay, so before we begin, again, I like to obviously start with a warm-up. Okay, when you do your exercises, in between your breaks and everything, you don't have to do a warm-up every single time you are doing each of the activity. You can always just reduce it down to one set, because the whole point is not to be seated for more than half an hour at a go. Okay, making yourself physically active doesn't involve, you need to get up every time it's 30 minutes, you have to go for a jog or for a walk. No, it's not like that. You just have to make sure you don't sit for too long. Okay, sit less, stand more. That's the whole point. All right, so before that, I will do my warm-up. Okay, once again, if you're not feeling well, okay, if you have had a vaccination in the past 7 days, please do not participate in the exercise. Okay, you can always rewatch the video when we are done with this. Okay, so let's begin with some marching on the spot. We're going to do a very short one, very short, very quick one. Okay, arms forward and out to the side, up to the ceiling, hands on the shoulders, forward shoulder rotation, and backwards. Very good. Okay, we'll do a shoulder stretch, arms across the chest. Excuse me. And change at the side. So the good thing about this warm-up is that you can even break down this warm-up to do these in sitting. You can do this shoulder stretch where you're seated down. Every 5 minutes, just stretch out your shoulders. Okay, release triceps. Same thing with this exercise. You can even do this while seated to just like stretch your arms out after the long hours of typing. Change. Okay, release, interlock the fingers behind the back and stretch out. Release, we slowly stop marching. Let's stretch our sides now. One hand on the waist, the other hand reach over. And change, other side. Okay, back to the center. Both hands on the waist. We'll just rotate the trunk. And change other side. Okay, back to the center. We're going to do a front thigh stretch right now. Try to hold on to something for support. Bend the knees. Okay. As long as you make sure you hold on for support. Okay, if you can't really bend your knees all the way up this high, you can just leave it bent like that just to stretch a little bit of the front of the thigh. And change, other side. Okay, release. We'll quickly stretch our hamstrings, heel on the ground, toes point towards the ceiling. Reach down and stretch, keeping your back straight. Slowly coming back up and change other side. Okay, slowly coming back up. We'll do a front calf stretch. So you bend, go into a lunge position, keeping your heel on the ground, and stretch. Making sure the back leg is straight, toes pointing forward. And we'll change to the other side. Okay, back to the center. We'll just rotate our ankles for a bit. And change other side. Alright, so that's the warm-up done. So now we're going to go through the exercise proper itself. We have about 5 exercises, okay? I call these exercises, but it really depends on how many you want to do, how often you would like to do it, okay? You can string these 5 exercises together, or you can do one exercise every 30 minutes as you're seated down on your desk doing your work, okay? So the first one, okay, is called the standing side-to-side reach, okay? Imagine the table is in front of me. I just stood up from my chair, okay? I've just stood up from my chair. My laptop's in front of me. I'm reaching to one side of the computer and then reaching to the other side of the computer. So that's a standing side to side reach. The speed you want to do it, how many reps you would like to do it, is completely up to you. Okay, but for the purpose of this video, I'll just be showing one set, roughly about 20 reps for the different exercises, okay? So remember, I just stood up from my table, okay, my chair is a bit further away from me, and I will just reach to one side of the computer screen or the laptop screen, and then I'll reach to the other side of it and continue to reach and reach, okay? Depending on how you like to do it, you can even do a kind of like a hip rotation as well, okay? Or, you can just reach. It will be a nice stretch for your back as well, depending on how you would like to do it. Just don't over rotate, because there is another exercise that does the rotation that I'll be showing you later on. Okay, I'll just be showing you 20 reps. You can join me for the 20 reps as well. Okay, have a stand up. Okay, if you're watching this from a big computer screen, have a stand up. Okay, make sure you have enough space around you, in front of you as well. And we're going to reach. One side is considered 1 rep, so this is 1 rep, 2 rep. Okay, we'll be doing a total of 20 reps. Okay, nice and easy, just to make sure you know how to do the movement. Feet shoulder width apart. We're going to begin in 3, 2, 1, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, that was 20 reps of the standing side-to-side reach, okay? I say standing, but the thing is that you can also do it in sitting, but obviously we want to recommend you to stand up for the exercise so that you're not seated down for too long. Remember, 30 minutes is the golden number. Every 30 minutes, just have a stand up. At least, the least you could do is have a stand up, quick stretch, and then go back to sitting down, okay? But if you can squeeze in these exercises as you do your work on your computer. So that's great. So that was the first exercise. The next one is called the seated twist. I will bring in my chair again. Okay. Right. So for the seated twist, what we would like to do is make sure you are seated slightly forward. Okay. So this is if you really can't have a stand up and you don't feel like having a stand up. Okay. The thing is, you want to sit a little bit forward, okay, not all the way back. I'm going to show you the side view for a bit, okay. So this is how you normally sit with your back flat against the chair. Sit forward just a little bit so you have enough space to do a rotation, okay, and I'll show you the rotation bit from the front. Okay, so I've sat slightly forward of the chair. My back is not on the backrest, okay. For the seated twist, okay, it's not just, sitting down and twisting. Similar to what you did with the standing side-to-side reach, you will be reaching over the shoulder. I mean, not completely around where you're going to fall off the chair. Okay, please don't do that. Just, you can be supported and reach, reach, reach. I would not recommend reaching too far off your base of support. That will be quite dangerous. Okay, just reach over your shoulder, just about this level, because not only does it rotate your spine, but it also kind of just stretches out your upper back, which is one of the muscles that you are always constantly using when you're working on your computer. Okay, so remember, it's reach, 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 reach. Okay, so it's the same thing. It will be 20 reps of this movement. Again, when you're doing this by yourself, you can do it 5 reps, 10 reps, slow down even, okay? But for the purpose of the video, I'll be showing you 20 reps of this movement. Okay, so we will begin. Positions nice and stable in 3, 2, 1, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, all right? And that was 20 reps of the seated twist, reaching over your shoulder. Okay, one more tip I'll recommend for that exercise is also to look at where you're reaching, so you're not always looking forward, you know, okay? Look at where you're reaching just to rotate your body just that little bit more to get that extra stretch and movement in your spine. Okay, the next exercise is also in sitting, but I will turn about 45 degrees so you can see, okay, is the double leg seated leg extension. Okay, for this one, again, you need to move back into the chair so that your back is supported. Why? Because I don't want you to be doing that as you do the leg extension. Okay, you want to be supported as far in to the chair as you can, using your hands to push your body and your hips back into the chair. Okay, all right, so push your body flat against the chair. It's like a single leg extension, but double leg. Okay, and that's how you do the double leg seated leg extension. Okay, so just up. Okay, it doesn't have to be straight. Like for me, I normally just like to keep it above the ground. I don't really keep my legs that straight. Okay, I can't anyway. My hamstrings are very tight. Okay, but just make sure your legs are off the ground, and that's 1 rep. Okay, same thing. We will be doing 20 reps of this movement. Okay, we're going to go nice and slow, because the slower you go, you kind of remove that momentum aspect. You don't really have to use the momentum to lift up your legs. Okay, all right, but the whole point is just to do slow, nice and controlled, keeping the legs above and down, up and down. Okay, so we'll do 20 reps of the seated double leg extensions. Okay, together with me in 3, 2, 1, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, and that was the seated double leg extension exercise. You can do it in sitting as you are doing your work as well. Okay, so that was the third exercise. The fourth one is going to be called the shoulder press and stretch. Okay, I'll be facing forward for this one as well. Okay, and what we'll be doing is, okay, you guys know the shoulder press movement is like that. All right, so what this is like, I like to call this as you're going to a swimming pose. and you are stretching. 1, 2, and then back to the center, bringing your arms down again. Okay, so I like this exercise because it really stretches out your body. You know, it's like just when in the morning you're yawning. Here, this morning when I yawned in the morning. Okay, so you're just doing a shoulder press into a swimming pose, and then you are stretching. 1, 2, arms back down. Okay, for this exercise we'll be doing just 10 reps because it's a very there's a combination movement going on here. Okay, and it's just very good to just do it once in a while. Okay, because you're doing a shoulder press and a stretch side to side. So 10 reps of the shoulder press and stretch. Okay, it doesn't really matter where you are in the chair at this point, okay, because you're working more on stretching the sides and your back and more of doing the shoulder press movement. Okay, so we'll be doing 10 reps of the shoulder press and stretch in 3, 2, 1. Let's begin. Shoulder press. 1, stretch, stretch, and 2, stretch, stretch, and 3, stretch, stretch, and 4, stretch, stretch, and 5, stretch, stretch, and 6, stretch, stretch, and 7, stretch, stretch, and 8, stretch, stretch, and 9, stretch, stretch, and 10, stretch, stretch. Okay, that was a good stretch actually. So that was the 4th exercise. Now, a point for the exercise is just make sure you're not stretching over to one side too much. Just enough for you to feel a slight stretch in the side, okay, especially in your lat muscles, okay, and the sides, like in your obliques area as well. Okay, so make sure you feel the nice stretch there, similar to the stretch that you do in standing, but this one is you're using both arms. At least you get to work out the shoulders as well while you are doing it. Okay, so for the last exercise, it's called the tabletop triceps and biceps. I would need to bring in the table back again. Okay. And I will show you again in the side view. Okay. Just making sure it's in a good position. Okay. I think I'm centered. Okay, I'm going to lock the table for this. Alright, so for the last exercise, it's called the tabletop triceps and biceps. Okay, so for this exercise itself, it's actually quite simple. For the tabletop triceps, we'll be doing isometric movements for both of these, okay? Because isometrics do work out the muscles, but just that you're not moving. Think of the tabletop triceps as a pushing movement. Make sure this is locked, okay? Pushing movement. Example, like you want to stand up from the table, you are pushing. Okay, never mind. Okay, so you're pushing, like example, if you want to stand up from the table. Okay, use a bit of your leg muscles to just kind of soften your knees and take the weight onto your arms and your elbows. Don't lock them out, just nice soft bend and push down on the table, okay, hard. All right, push down hard on the table. Okay, hopefully your table doesn't flip over, but you know, just make sure it's a nice sturdy table when you're doing this. Okay, so nice softening of the knees and push down, and this will be the tabletop triceps. Okay, we will do this for about 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. I will count it with every one of you at home. Count it with me if you can. Okay, and this will be the tabletop tricep movement, and I'll show you the biceps one after this. Okay, so we'll do tabletop triceps for 10 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Pushing down the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Slowly unload your hands and sit back down. Okay, and that was the tabletop triceps. For the biceps, it's simple. Tabletop, now put it underneath and imagine you are trying to lift the table up. Okay, I know some of you guys are really strong, okay, and you're able to flip the table if you do it hard enough, but remember, just enough to activate the bicep muscles here. Okay, just enough to activate the bicep muscles here so that it fires isometrically. Just remember, isometrics does not mean you are doing movements with your elbows. You're just kind of activating and then holding it there for a short period of time. And that's the isometric contraction. Okay, so same thing underneath. The wrist or your palms are flat underneath and you're trying to lift the table up. As long as you have activated your biceps, that means it's on. Same thing, we'll be doing 10 seconds of this tabletop bicep exercise. Hands underneath. We're going to imagine we're the Hulk and trying to flip the table. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and slowly release as you finish the exercise. Okay, so that was the tabletop biceps and triceps. I'm going to do a quick rundown of what we covered today. So the first thing was we did the standing side to side reach, okay, which was the one where you did this and this. Okay, next was the seated twist, which was the one where you reached over the shoulder. All right, next one was the double leg extension in sitting. Okay, the double leg extension in sitting. Okay, shoulder press and stretch. Shoulder press and stretch. Stretch. Last but not least is your tabletop triceps when you're pushing down as if you want to stand up but stopping halfway, and your tabletop biceps when you're lifting the table trying to flip it. Okay, so those are technically 5.5, 6 exercises that you can do every 30 minutes when you are exercising. Okay, so we're going to do the cool down right now, okay, but as you're doing the cool down, try to think of your favorite exercise that you think you can do during your working from home. What's the one that you think that you'll be doing the most as you're working hard on your computers, and try to type that in. Okay, so remember the exercises are the standing side to side reach, the seated twist, the seated double leg extension, all right, your shoulder press and stretch, okay, and you have the tabletop triceps and tabletop biceps. Okay, out of these 6, what is your favorite exercise? Okay, think about it while I move the table off screen so we can do the exercise itself. Just unlock the table. Okay, moving the chair aside. All right, so let's do the cool down exercise right now. We'll start from the bottom up. We'll do ankle rotations first. And change, other side. Stretch our calves, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. And change, other side. Back to the center, hamstring stretch, heel on the ground, toes point towards the ceiling, reaching down and stretch. Slowly coming back up and changing to the other side. Slowly coming back up. Okay, front thigh stretch, quadricep stretch again. Again, if you can't bend it all the way, you can always just half bend it. Okay. And change other side. Okay, release. We'll be doing a side stretch, one hand on the waist. And change to the side. Back to the center, fingers interlocked, stretch forwards. and up. Hands behind the head, elbows back. And release to chest stretch. Slowly drop the hands behind the back and stretch out. And release back into your shoulder stretch. And change other side. Okay, release triceps again behind the back. And change other side. Okay, release. We'll do some neck stretches. Left ear to left shoulder, side neck stretch. And change other side. Back to the center, looking over the left shoulder, turning the head. And change other side. Alright, back to the center. Let's do some deep breathing. We'll do about 3 deep breaths. One hand on your diaphragm, one hand on your chest. Ready, breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. Last one. Breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, that was the end of the cool down exercise and also the end of the ergonomic tips and ergonomic exercise videos that you can do on your desk. Okay, so I would just like to recap the ergonomic tips from the beginning for those of you who joined a little bit later. As you're working on your laptop, try to have it raised up so the screen is in level with your eyes so you don't have to look down and damage your cervical spine. Try to get an external keyboard, okay, or an external mouse as well so you don't have to reach up or reach close to the laptop to do your work, which might actually injure your shoulders. Okay, always sit back into a chair. Have a chair with a backrest. Remember, the lumbar spine is the part that has to be in contact with the chair. For those of you with flat-backed chairs, what you can also do is add a pillow underneath, right behind your back, so your back is actually supported on the pillow, which might actually help a lot, okay, in supporting your lumbar spine throughout your long hours on the computer as you work. And last but not least, try not to sit and do your, try not to sit in front of the computer for more than 30 minutes. Always, at least what you can do is have a stretch, have a stand up, okay, to do a stretch, short stretches, or even do some hip rotation, stuff like that. Every half an hour, try not to be seated down for too long because you don't want to stay sedentary for too long as well. Okay, and once again, the exercises that you can do, these are just 6 of the exercises that you can do at your desk. There are plenty more. You can even, from my previous videos, you can even do the punches, okay, or you can even do shoulder presses or even bicep curls if you have some dumbbells lying around, water bottles. Just do quick exercise and then back. You can back to the computer you go to do the rest of your work. All right. So again, remember, if you're doing these exercises for a long period of time, remember to always stay hydrated. Make sure you stretch after your workout, like what we did a cool down. Always stretch after your workout, and try not to exercise if you're not feeling well. Okay, give your body some time to rest. Okay, so that's the end of my live video. Okay, thank you so much for coming down every Friday to watch our videos, be it live or on our Facebook or YouTube pages, and we will still try our best to provide you with new content, more fun content that you can do and exercise on your own. We have a lot of videos on YouTube. Do have a look at the exercise video playlist. Okay, and thank you for all your support for us, from the physiotherapists to therapy assistants to everyone here at Singapore Heart Foundation. All right, once again, my name is Fendi. I'm a physiotherapist here at the Singapore Heart Foundation. And thank you so much for joining me. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend and stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye.